Getting on iFirm rosters sounds simple. You apply, they accept you, you get deployed, right? That's how most new adjusters thinks that this all works, and it's not how it works. The gap between what people expect and what actually happens is where a lot of new adjusters lose months of their career before they even get started. I'm Matt, and I spent 20 years as an independent property adjuster, and then for nearly the past decade, I've been training new independent property adjusters through Adjuster TV, and when my graduates finish, some of the top firms in the country will waive their experience requirements so that you can get to work now instead of waiting years to qualify. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how iFirm onboarding works, what the firms are actually looking for, and how to not get lost in the pile. So let's start with what an iFirm actually is and why it matters which ones you join up with. Starting now. An independent adjusting firm is the company that sits between you and the insurance carrier. When a major storm hits and State Farm or Allstate needs 500 adjusters deployed in a week, they don't hire 500 people. They call their iFirms. I think of an iFirm as kind of like a temp agency. The firms activate the adjusters on their rosters who are qualified, available, licensed, and trusted. And that last word, trust, matters. The firms are vouching for you to the carrier every time they send you out. So the onboarding process isn't just paperwork. It's the firm deciding whether they want to put their name behind you. There are hundreds of firms out there, but some are really big. Probably the top 5 firms handle a significant portion of all property claims in the country. Some are much smaller, regional, or state operations. The size of the firm matters because bigger firms have bigger carrier relationships, which means more deployment opportunities across more types of events for new adjusters. Okay, you may not want to stay there once you become an experienced adjuster, but it's the best place to start. So you want to be on multiple rosters of big firms, not just a couple. So what does the onboarding process actually look like? Getting on a roster is not really a one-step process. It's more like 6 or 7 steps strung together over several weeks or even months. A lot of them require waiting on somebody else. So first you apply. Most firms have an online application. Fill it out completely and accurately, of course. Gaps or inconsistencies are going to slow things down naturally. And then for a lot of companies comes a background check. This is standard and non-negotiable. If you have something in your background that could be a problem, know that going in, and know that a lot of companies are going to take things like that on a case-by-case basis. They may even do credit check. So once you've gotten past that sort of gate, then you're going to be looking at carrier certifications. This is one most new adjusters don't really see coming. Many of the major carriers require their own certification before an adjuster can touch their claims. The firms administer these certifications, but they run on the carrier's timeline, not yours. Thankfully, a lot of these are online courses. A lot of them have exams that require a passing score before the firm will even consider activating you. And then we're looking at additional state licenses. Depending on which firms you're applying to and which carriers they work with, you may need licenses in states beyond your home state. Most definitely if you're going to be doing CAT or remote desk work. Okay, so Florida, Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, South Carolina, anything along the Gulf Coast or the Atlantic Coast. These are high volume CAT states, and being licensed there makes you more deployable. Firms are usually going to tell you which ones that they need. Get those licenses picked up and in your quiver. And then we've got corporate webinars and orientations. A lot of firms run these regularly. Show up, pay attention, ask good questions. And then in a lot of cases with some of the bigger firms, you're looking at in-person trainings. Okay, they may say you have to go to this training before we can consider you for giving you claims. These are basically what amounts to an evaluation session where they're sizing up a whole new batch of people at the same time. They're watching how you present yourself, how you communicate, whether you seem like someone they'd want representing them in a homeowner's living room after a catastrophe, if you're helping the people sitting next to you, if you're not pulling the wrapper off of your laptop and trying to find the on button, you're asking good questions, you're showing up early, you're leaving late, you're going up and talking to the manager on breaks, right? These are the things that's very important to them to see that you're all in on this and that they can trust you to give you claims. If you're just getting started and you want a full breakdown of everything involved in becoming an independent adjuster, Beginner's Guide has it all for free. Link is below, or go to adjustertv.com/start. go check it out. And now the age-old problem of how can I get experience to work for you if you require experience when you won't give me an opportunity to get experience, right? This is the catch that a lot of new adjusters run into. A lot of the big firms have experience requirements. A lot of the small ones do as well. 2 years is pretty common, right? This puts you in a classic catch-22. You can't get the experience without getting deployed, and you can't get deployed without experience. There are ways around this. Some of the bigger firms will waive experience requirements if you show up with strong training certifications, strong Xactimate. Even better if you've been tested and vetted by a trusted third-party trainer, okay? This is not a small thing. A cold application from an unknown new adjuster gets treated very differently from an application that comes with someone's name behind it. And you prove to yourself, to that person, that you could actually do this work, right? This is one of the reasons why the training that you choose and the relationships that come with it matter as much as the training itself. Okay, so how to not get lost in the pile of applications that firms get every single day. Here's how you stand out. Be complete. Incomplete applications slow everything down and signal disorganization. Not a great first impression for a job that requires meticulous documentation. Okay. Follow up. Not aggressively, but a polite check-in after a week or two shows that you're serious. Most applicants apply and disappear thinking that, well, I applied and I haven't heard from them, so I guess I didn't get it. Do not wait for one firm to finish onboarding you before you apply to the next one. Run these applications in parallel. You want to be working through multiple onboarding processes simultaneously because each one takes time that you cannot get back. The most important practical piece of advice in this entire video is to start this process immediately, okay? Not when a storm is already forming in the Gulf, not when your phone rings and somebody tells you that there's work available right now, but you can't go because you don't have the license or you don't have the certification, etc. Firms cannot rush their own internal processes for you. The carrier certifications run on a schedule. Background checks take as long as they take. If you start your onboarding in the middle of an active storm event, you're going to watch that event come and go while you're still waiting to be activated. So start early. Do the boring stuff now, because when the storm hits, the only thing you want to be waiting on is the call. Get on every roster we just talked about, have your credentials done, your licenses in order, your gear packed and ready, and still get sent home on your first deployment if you don't know what the firms are actually expecting from you once claims are in your hands. What they're looking for, what gets you called back, and what gets you quietly removed from the first call list. That's what we're going to cover in this video right here. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great storm.